How long have you been a Rochester resident, Chris?
All 36 years of my life.
Cool.
Born and raised, and I've never left, actually.
I lived in Rochester years ago, actually. I was Brother Weeze's very first partner on the radio show when we started it together on WCMF, actually.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so good buddy of mine, still a great day, and I think he's still doing business on another station in town there, right?
Oh, yeah, he's still at it.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
All right, so you taste tested a bunch of our food. It's interesting. We had a rock star on the phone with us yesterday, and he was saying whenever he comes back to the area, and he'll be back at the Turning Stone on Saturday night, he comes to Utica for the food. How'd you hear about our food?
Well, so, I mean, as a Rochester resident and someone who's lived in upstate New York my entire life, it's always intrigued me that we have really interesting culinary differences between, like, some of our big cities. Buffalo's got wings, Rochester's got the plate, Binghamton's got Speedies, and I was always sort of interested in the fact that I had never been to Utica to try the long list of things that Utica's got. So, as part of the blog that I've got called Exploring Upstate, I said to a friend of mine who is a food reviewer and blogger in Rochester, I said, man, we've got to go try all this stuff because it's been too long and no more time should pass before I try it.
And the picture on your website right in front of Mello's Subs as you're pointing down the block, down Genesee Street, to what I'm assuming may be a partner or a friend of yours that took the journey with you to Utica to eat. What did you eat, Chris?
Yeah, so we made a list in advance. We did a whole bunch of research. I went onto social media and kind of asked different opinions. But, there was the opinions that I got from most people were that I needed to try the staples, things like chicken riggies, Utica greens, the half moon cookie, the item which I believe I was pronouncing incorrectly before, but I think I've been corrected and I've got it, the jimbat.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right now?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's correct.
All right, I was saying it phonetically before, and I think I was corrected a few too many times.
Yeah, well, did you run into a Utica Italian? Is that what happened?
Well, I did, and it was in Utica. When I started ordering it, they said, no, that's not quite right. So, and then we had pasties, and then we had some coffee, and we had a whole bunch of stuff, but... we weren't. So the itinerary that we made ended up changing.
Do you have tomato pie, Chris, or not?
Oh yeah, we did do tomato pie.
Okay.
Yeah, we did tomato pie. We did that. We did Oskanit's upside down sausage pizza, and then we did tomato pie right after. So we did pizza all at once.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. But we kind of made this itinerary that was recommendations on locals, like I said, that I got from social media. We weren't anticipating a lot of those places being closed. It was the day we were in Utica was the day after Christmas, and on Saturdays, I guess there's a few places. Like I think, if I remember correctly, Florentine Bakery was one that was closed on Saturdays.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I think there was a few others that were surprisingly closed, probably because of the holiday. So then we sort of got rerouted and got recommendations from other locals, and it ended up being pretty spontaneous and really, really cool because we got to try some things that ended up being really great that we may not have tried because they weren't on the original itinerary.
And I think an interesting point, a lot of people have, maybe come to the area because of the food to try it out, writing about it, but you've done some research prior, and you researched the area and what the area meant as far as food goes. So I thought that was pretty neat. And what did you find there?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's sort of what I do, or what I try to do. It's a lot of work, but I try to do on Exploring Upstate is to figure out the history, that sort of has preceded where we are today. There's so much of what happened, 1700s, 1800s, and even the last 100 years that has kind of affected where we're at today as a state and as a culture. So that's one of the things that's always intrigued me was, how, immigrants came here, settled, why they settled, and, the fact that Utica was settled by so many Italians really kind of intrigued me that it was an interesting background that provided a menu that was so unique to the rest of the state.
Talking to Chris Clemens from Exploring Upstate. He came to Utica to taste test a lot of our foods here on 100.7 FM WUTQ.
Chris, what was your favorite? What do you want us to send out to Rochester for you?
My favorite, I think the the Jimbot. From what I understand, it's not the most traditional form of a Jimbot in Utica, but it was really, really tasty. I mean, everything about it that was in there was really good.
Where'd you have the Jimbot from?
That was at Creekside Cafe and Creamery.
We go there every other Sunday. We're there for a Jimbot, my wife and I.
Really,
So
every other Sunday. Well, all right, so that makes me feel a lot better to know that we were definitely in the right place. It was super tasty. It was done in like a cast iron skillet, so it came out almost personal pan pizza style.
Yeah. By the way, you can do the meatless or the vegetarian. Which one did you do?
Oh, come on.
I mean, the meat. The meat.
Yeah, no, that we definitely did the meat, the Italian sausage. In fact, I don't know if I've ever had so much Italian sausage in one day as I did on that day.
That's a good thing. Come on.
Yeah, almost everything we had, probably except the pasties and the coffee, probably had Italian sausage.
Hey, we can get a pasty with sausage in it for you. All right, don't worry about it.
I would do that. You know, one of the other things I really, really liked was the lemon pasty. And I think part of the reason I was surprised is because I normally wouldn't be attracted to a lemon pastry like that, but it was really great, especially with the coffee we had from Utica Coffee Roasting.
Perfect. We're drinking it now.
One of our favorites.
Cool.
All right.
So, but Chris, you mentioned your favorite here in Utica. Other places that you've visited in upstate New York, and maybe your favorite out of all of them?
Out of all of upstate New York?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure exactly where you've been at this point.
Holy cow, man. A lot of places. You know, one of the ones that I really enjoy a lot is in the Finger Lakes. It's the Finger Lakes Wienery.
Okay.
It's a nice little pun on the whole the Finger Lakes region. But they do like really nice organic farm to table type food, but it's a hot dog place. So
Sounds great.
it's a couple out of New York City, who got a whole bunch of culinary training and does high end stuff, but it's casual and familiar.
All right.
Is this your 9 to 5, Chris?
It is not my 9 to 5.
It's one
This
hell of
is
a job.
hobby that keeps me working about 40 hours a week, but doesn't pay like it.
Gotcha. Well, Chris, thanks for joining us today, and best of luck. Keep us up to date. Send us some Rochester. I'd love a Tahoe's garbage plate.
You think it would mail real well?
Probably not.
You
Maybe
send us
priority.
You send us the plate. We'll send you an Oskin Eats. All right, even trade.
Deal.
All right.